Joy News, we are independent, fearless, and credible. You're watching Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace. In the headlines, this are political parties orchestrating elaborate schemes to register foreigners and minors in the ongoing voter registration exercise. We have the latest as the Electoral Commission dismisses allegations it is suppressing voter registration in strongholds of the opposition NDC. Also, newly appointed NIB boss and NPP Parliamentary Candidate for Manson Quanta called the bluff of critics, asking him to resign, saying they either don't get it or are drawing hasty conclusions. Also, terrorists are able to visit Ghana, use our hospitals, and go back. Words of Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso as he paints a grim picture of the terror threats the country and other West African coastal states face. At 8 p.m., I hand over to Emma Davis to bring you Prime Business.
Government moves to accelerate the disbursement of almost $1 billion from development partners to boost the economy.
The government is also implementing measures on the fiscal side, including acceleration of disbursements of almost $1 billion United States dollars by our development partners between now and December this year to support the economy.
15, Razak Musbah bring you Prime Sports.
We are ready to impress at the WAFU Under-17 tournament. Those are the words of Ghana Under-17 head coach Lai Kinson ahead of the tournament slated for Wednesday in Accra.
We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Thanks for choosing us. Please stay. Now, the newly appointed Managing Director of the National Investment Bank and the NPP Parliamentary Candidate for Manson Quanta, Tweneboa Kodia Foko, is calling the bluff of critics, asking him to resign, saying the actors are making hasty conclusions. Mr. Foko, who until recently was the Deputy MD of the bank, took over from the former MD, Samuel Sapon, today. But barely 24 hours after he assumed the role, the minority and some civil society groups have called on him to resign. Ranking member on the Committee on Employment, Social Welfare and State Enterprises, Dr. Akufo-Addo, questioned whether the new appointment is to allow the candidate to use NIB resources to campaign.
Once he became the parliamentary candidate, he would have resigned his position to concentrate on his political work. That has not happened. How then you go ahead to elevate him to the position of managing director, chief executive of the bank 6 months into an election, and with him as a parliamentary candidate? It goes against the grain. It goes against every good judgment. Are we then saying that we are elevating him for him to use the bank's scarce resources for his campaign? Obviously, if he's going to Manson Quanta, he will obviously, as chief executive, is entitled to 24-hour transportation. So we think the appointment is bad and it's in poor taste.
Now, President of Imani Africa, Franklin Kujo, also questioned why the Bank of Ghana approved such an appointment when he would be engaged in rigorous campaigning for political office.
I mean, this whole thing, this is a bank that's struggling. Even if you're not a struggling bank, you think if you're a private bank, you actually treat it this way. Come on, look, this guy is running for fine. He's going to be focused on the next 6 months to get the seat, win the seat. Then he's been asked to be head of an institution that is struggling. I mean, I even wonder why NIB still existed. I really thought it would have just gone under long ago and subsumed them by some other private bank. But then this guy is being asked to still be head of the bank. Why? Is it as an insurance or what? He should take a leave. Then if he feels that after running for the election, if he loses, maybe then should be given an opportunity. But frankly speaking, what happens if he wins? Then what? Then if he wins, then there's a gap. I don't get. But between now and the election, he's not going to be focused and concentrate on the job. This is gone beyond politics. This is gone beyond politics. I think we should be very serious.
There is an argument that his appointment was approved by the board, and the board must fully be aware of all this. What do you think should be the way forward?
There's no way forward in completeness, my brother. Let's get to even the man himself. If I were him, maybe I'm not him, I'll recuse myself. I'm running for office for crying out loud. But you see, this is happening because his other colleagues have done it in the past, and in the not too distant past, when this controller, right, also did the same thing, and our own president sat down and looked on, and nothing happened. So they are copying from bad behavior. So there's nothing to be done but commonsensical thing to do. Chief, you cannot do this work and at the same time run. This is a critical institution, unless, of course, we are being told the institution doesn't matter.
But the Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, John Boadu, says the calls by the minority are without any basis.
We are all concerned about the health of NIB. Their financial situation is not very good as we speak now. And I will entertain any argument that says that his experience and qualification is incapable of managing and restructuring NIB as we speak now. But for the mere fact that it's a parliamentary candidate begs the question, because we have members of parliament who are ministers. We have some of them holding ministries that are sensitive. We have a finance minister, a member of parliament who will be going for campaign. So I think that they can further come up with other reasons rather than just assistance to election. We even have a vice president who is a presidential candidate. I think that is obviously no more than just being an MD for single entity.
Let's go on the phone lines now and speak to President of Humani Africa, Franklin Cudjoe, for more on this. Franklin, first, from the governance standpoint, what is wrong with appointing a parliamentary candidate as an MD of a bank? I mean, John Boadu just said we have a vice president who is a presidential candidate.
Hi, am I on?
Yes, please, sir, yes.
Well, I don't know what inferences they are drawing. Even my good friend, what's his name, the SIGA boss himself, I think he's new to the job. And so probably he doesn't seem to understand these things properly. Look, this gentleman claims that, in fact, he spoke on your sister network not too long ago, and even suggested that this job was like extracurricular or at his leisure. Seriously? You have a job. You claim you are turning around a bank that has been in distress since 2013, thereabouts. Never ever returning a single profit. And you have the temerity to tell us that because you've been made the MD, you want to still pursue your political objectives by running a campaign from now to the next election. I mean, look, let's stop joking in this town. And the fact that the president has abandoned all good conscience when it comes to such things and has allowed everybody in his party to misbehave doesn't mean that the rest of the country must just follow through. It doesn't make sense. How are you telling us that you'll be able to work your time running a full administration? Because a CEO's job in the bank is not akin to a minister's job, as he's been touting, has been saying it on Joy FM this evening. And I think my good friend Covenant Tonko put him in his stead. You don't equate the ministerial job, which is a political figurehead, to the level of a CEO of a bank, a commercial bank. That must be serious in returning profits. I don't even know why we even have the NIB still around. I thought it should have gone under long ago. Because a state entity that is behaving this way, it can only behave this way. If it were his own bank, would they allow somebody to be MD and at the same time running around the country that is becoming an MP? What is this? The fact that it belongs to the state, it should fall into disrepair. And the fact that it's a private entity, we should think about it carefully. He was all over the place this evening talking. He couldn't even articulate himself, saying that, oh, I have time. I'm even in the office right now, and this job will be like an extracurricular job. Really? At his leisure? At our expense? Please.
I'm grateful to you, Doctor, for joining us here. Franklin Cudjoe is President of Humani Africa. Now, joining us on the line is also banking consultant, Dr. Richmond Otuahene. Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. What does the Bank of Ghana's Corporate Governance Directive say about appointing politically exposed persons to such positions as the Chief Executive of NIB?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your cherished viewers and listeners. I mean, the Corporate Governance Directive 2018, actually, in addition to the fit and proper test, doesn't talk about any politically exposed person taking position.
Okay.
Yes, there is nothing in the directives. If you wouldn't mind, I'll quickly read through the things
but if it doesn't talk about politically exposed persons, in this critical example where the parliamentary candidate of a constituency is being made the CEO of a bank like the NIB, I mean, don't we have any rules by the Bank of Ghana that sort of controls such a decision?
In Ghana here, in addition to the corporate governance directives, the next one is the fit and proper test, which I told you. In it, there is nothing about politically exposed person being appointed.
Okay.
It talks about financial integrity, reputation, academic and professional qualification, experience, conflict of interest. And the thing that the man said was, when I listened to him earlier, the time commitment. And Bank of Ghana, before you pass through this test, Bank of Ghana would have evaluated your time commitment to the institution. So I would prefer that we should direct our discussion, devoid of politics, to maybe direct to Bank of Ghana, to maybe improve on the politically exposed person in the directives. Because at the moment, there is no language, there is nothing. I can read. It's about 17 pages. I can read the whole.
So that's disappointment. That's disappointment, which has disappointment that has generated this controversy and reaction. I mean, what do you make of it as a banking consultant that someone who is a parliamentary candidate has been made to be chief executive of NIB?
Unfortunately, we haven't upheld good corporate governance in this country for the SOEs or the state banks. It is not the first time that we have these challenges. It's been with us all along. Maybe this one is so unique because it is about 6 months to the time. But we have seen in situations where people have been appointed to even CEO position who they have no good experience to manage the institution. But this young man, I'm not defending him. If you listen to him earlier, he's been part of the risk transformation and risk transformation of the institutions 2020-2019. So when it comes to restructuring and transformation, at least he has something to show. But what other people are saying is about the politically exposed. What I'm saying is that we shouldn't direct our argument straight to the who this is, but as a country, we need to improve on our corporate governance and the fit proper test period.
Okay.
We're using him as a guinea pig. But the question is that if you look at the directives, there is no place. And there was no place.
Okay.
If anybody can prove to me that the directive that is in front of me, there is a politically exposed person, then I'll possibly agree with you.
Grateful, Doc, for joining us here. Now, away from that, two other stories. It is imagined that the political parties have been orchestrating an elaborate scheme to register foreigners and minors in the ongoing voter registration exercise. There are reports of arrests in the Western region, for example, and the Electoral Commission has been left alarmed by the extent to which political parties are aggressively facilitating the registration of foreigners and minors. As a news conference held hours ago, the Commission demanded swifter and firmer action from the police to deal with the threat. My colleague Michael Ashley was there in our reports.
Deputy Commissioner at the EC, Dr. Bosman Asari, says it is alarmed by the attempts by some persons to get minors enrolled onto the electoral roll, which it says is partly fueled by the use of the guarantor system of identification.
We continue to receive reports that minors and non-Ghanaians are being encouraged by certain persons who are members of political parties to register as voters. The Commission has seen a report from the Western region, specifically in Impoho, where some 2 persons who allegedly facilitated the registration of 5 minors have been apprehended by the police. We wish to use this opportunity to urge parents especially to dissuade their children who are less than 18 years from registering as voters. Similarly, we beseech the national leadership of the political parties to discourage the executives in the regions and the constituencies from transporting minors and foreigners to the registration centers. The objective of the Commission, as always, has been to have a credible register for the 2024 elections and beyond. We believe the political parties, as the main stakeholders in the general election, must be dedicated to supporting a credible register as well. As a result, we find attempts by parties to support the registration of minors and foreigners as completely unacceptable, and it is aimed at undermining the country's electoral democracy. We urge the police to apply the laws on those who have been apprehended to serve as a deterrent to others in the enterprise of facilitating the registration of minors and foreigners.
The Commission believes the solution to these problems will be to use the Ghana card as the only mode of identification.
We have also noticed that the disturbances occurring at some of our registration centers is due to the fact that some people are doubting the ages of some of the applicants. This is the reason why the Commission has been advocating for the usage of the Ghana card, which has the date of birth and the nationality of the bearers of the card, and the abolition of the guarantor system. We are hopeful that in the next registration exercise, applicants will use the Ghana card as the means of identification. The guarantor system continues to dominate the forms of identification used in the 2024 registration exercise, as in the 2023 exercise. This is something the Commission is not proud of because it is used by political parties and certain persons to facilitate the registration of unqualified persons, such as minors and foreigners. The current confusion at the registration centers is attributable to the guarantor system, because we are seeing many people who others are alleging they are minors and they are trying to register, and others are also insisting that we think you are not 18 years.
The Commission also rejected claims it was discriminating against some groups.
The Commission has no intention of favoring any particular regions, constituencies, or zones in this registration exercise. All such commentaries implying that the Commission has sent bad equipment to certain parts of the country, or frustrating the registration exercise in some regions or constituencies are championed by persons who are completely ignorant of the processes of the Electoral Commission. It's unfortunate that some will accuse the Commission of discriminating against a section of Ghanaians in the registration exercise. We wish to use this medium to again assure all Ghanaians that the Commission is committed to ensuring that all qualified persons get onto the voters' register and vote in the December 2024 presidential and parliamentary elections.
Although the Commission has already apologized for the wrong tabulations which happened over the weekend, they insist that it is not a major issue. However, they have taken steps to ensure it does not happen again.
Clearly, you can see the real figures were correct, but the disaggregation of the various days, so I don't see this as anything which is so major for people to make a beef about. The bigger picture, the total registered at the time, about 143 was also captured correctly.
Although the NDC has instructed their agents on the grounds to record every serial number of every machine used, the EC insists they will not share these numbers with any political party.
We won't make the serial numbers available to any persons or any political parties. So if the parties strongly believe that they have a way of getting it, this is a democratic society, so they can go ahead and get it. But the EC will not make anything available, and we've made that very, very clear in our statement. So that will not be made available to the political parties.
The Electoral Commission says they are on course to register more than 600,000 individuals. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Well, terrorists from Burkina Faso and other parts of the Sahel are able to visit Ghana, use our hospitals, and go back to where they came from. Words of Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso, Boniface Gambela Adagbela, speaking on the sidelines of an event in the Upper East region some hours ago. He painted a grim picture of the threats the country and the other West African coastal states face from terrorism spilling down from neighboring Burkina Faso and other parts of the Sahel. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, at an event last Friday organized by the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center in collaboration with the government of Japan and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, dubbed support to strengthen capacities for promoting efficiency in the implementation of the Accra Initiative in West Africa and the Sahel, National Security Minister Albert Kandapa expressed similar concerns, wondering why the security agencies of the affected countries cannot crush the terrorists.
Amidst the deteriorating terrorist threat situation in the West African region, questions and concerns have been raised about the potency of existing sub-regional counter-terrorism frameworks, particularly the Accra Initiative to curb the southward threat of terrorism from the Sahel region to coastal West Africa. And I find it useful to utilize this platform to provide an update on the Accra Initiative, its successes and challenges so far, and new measures currently being considered to strengthen the initiative to address the threat of terrorism.
We're going to hear from Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso, Boniface Gambela Adagbela. He says terrorists from Burkina Faso and other parts of the Sahel are able to enter Ghana, visit hospitals, and go back to where they came from. He spoke on the sidelines of an event in the Upper East region.
The serious threat is in the north between Burkina and Niger and Mali, and then to the east, the northeast, and then to the west. That is where the terrorist movement occurs most. And believe it or not, they are able to come into Ghana and go back.
With the terrorists?
Yes, they move in and go back.
They move into Ghana?
Yes, and they roam. They come to our hospitals and go back. But governments are working at that. It's not something we need to dilate so much about. So they also know that because when they are attacked north, northeast, west, they think that they have a safe haven coming down south of Burkina. So they come as far as to our frontiers, and we need to be careful.
He says even Ghanaians who went missing after entering Burkina Faso last year are yet to be found. He cautioned Ghanaians who would want to travel to the country to use approved routes only. He says the two countries are still working together to find the missing persons.
We know we have relatives across, so don't just get up as usual, walk in and walk out. Especially there are certain areas that both governments are monitoring because of the jihadists around there. So if you walk along or move along that route, you become a suspect, and anything can happen to you. It has happened, and we don't want it to happen again.
Recently?
Yes, over the period, it has been happening.
Well, the Ghana Armed Forces has assured a continuous enforcement of security at the northern part of the country to forestall a spillover of violence from conflict-ridden neighboring countries such as Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger as the country heads to the electioneering season. Deputy Chief Staff Officer Operations and Training at the Ghana Headquarters, Brigadier General Kweku Dankwa Hagan, gave this assurance at the official start of Flintlock 2024, a combined joint special operations task force to train against violence extremism.
We, like all of our international partners, are unable to do anything without the support and capability and the trust.
As Flintlock 2024 is a joint multinational exercise which is taking place in Accra, Tamale, and Damongo. It's joint because in this world currently no nation can act alone. So it's a joint exercise with participants from about 35 countries from 5 continents, which is being hosted by Ghana. And the main objective is to help us to have, because of the shared values that all the countries have with Ghana, we are to have the interoperability, jointness in training, jointness in exercise, to be able to be professionally enhanced to protect our countries and the people within the sub-region.
On his part, Director of Operations for Special Operations Command Africa, U.S. Navy, Captain Scott Frentres, believes a multinational approach to fighting violence extremism is the most effective.
We, like all of our international partners, are unable to do anything without the support and capability and the trust and relationships that we have with all of the countries that experience a unique and common adversary.
This is the second edition. The first one, you glean a lot of wisdom from it. What are you expecting the second one would be for you?
So with all things, we try to build on what we've learned, and we also try to establish additional trust and relationships with those countries that we're working with, and be able to use innovation tools and a more of a whole of government approach instead of just something that is so singular in nature. You know, we can't do anything without technology, from machines to increased technology like using airplanes, or even communications capabilities across all the spectrum, and we intend to integrate that throughout every component within the exercise.
Now, away from that, the fear of kidney patient to announcement of a possible increase in dialysis charges have been confirmed as the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital begins charging the new 491 cedis per dialysis session. Parliament has approved a 111 Ghana cedis increase in the cost of dialysis services through the fees and charges regulation. There was public uproar among patients last year when the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital increased the charges for dialysis treatment from 380 cedis to 756 Ghana cedis, citing rising cost of consumables. The matter was later referred to the subsidiary legislative committee in Parliament for a fee-fixing resolution. We're learning that patients have started paying more for treatment because Parliament has increased the charges from 380 cedis to 491 Ghana cedis. We'll look at how patients are coping with the new charges shortly. But first, I'm sure you remember 15-year-old Priscilla, whose story my colleague Richard Kojonyako told from Cape Coast. This was her wish days before she died in the battle for her kidney.
The doctors told me I have to be on a machine, and I have to be on that machine either twice or thrice a week. And my mom and dad do not have money either. We have become miserable. I am appealing to the government to help me live through this. Otherwise, I may die. I want the government to support me so I can live to fulfill my dream of becoming a nurse.
Well, as it stands now, Priscilla's wishes have not been fulfilled because the prices have been increased to 491 cedis, and this has already begun biting hard on patients. Listen to President of the Renal Patient Association, Kojo Bafwa-Hinkra.
We had the information about a month or two ago, that Parliament has approved that price, that is the 491 that they are talking about. So all along, we were waiting for when it would take effect. And then later on, when I inquired from management of Korle Bu, I was being told that now since Korle Bu does not do cash at hand, we have to go through the bank and pay the money at the bank. They have some banking at Korle Bu. So they were trying to put it in their system. So all along, we were just waiting for when this will happen. Just last week, Friday in the morning, we paid the normal 380. But getting closer to the evening, we heard that they've now changed the system to 491. And then, so it took effect on Friday evening. And then Sunday, the people who came paid. And then today, to when we came to, we pay the 491.
Well, Kojo Bafwa-Hinkra himself joins us via Zoom now. I'm grateful to you, sir, for joining. Now, how are your members dealing with these new charges?
It's not. Currently, as we speak now, this morning, a lot of them came in and they couldn't pay the 490. So they have to go back home. I just don't know what to say. People are calling me tomorrow. They don't have the money to come for their session. They are calling, so what are we doing? But hey, they say it came from Parliament. So Parliament is the one who approved these new prices. So we are just appealing to Parliament if they can hear us. If I learned they are coming back on Friday for a sitting, we beg them, they should look into this. Already when it was 380, people were not able to pay. People were not even coming for their sessions. And now that you're moving it to 491, it's going to be a worst case scenario. Nobody, I mean, we don't know. This evening, at the units, the way it's supposed to be full to capacity, it was not like that.
Wow.
For people were not able to come and pay. Yeah, it was not like that. Normally, you come, we do 3 or 4 sessions a day, but today, the unit has been very slow because people didn't have the money to pay for the 491. I don't know what will be for tomorrow.
It's sad to hear, but are you not able to trigger any kind of support for people who cannot or are not able to pay the 491, especially with support from NGOs and other private institutions?
We tried doing that. You see, some donations came in. We remember Zoom Lion came give us some money. Reverend Bodinya Miche also came in support of this money for us. So some other people came in, but normally when the money comes, they pay to Kolebu accounts. So we don't know how that thing is going to work. We don't know, but we are still appealing to other organizations to come to our aid because, my brother, it's not easy. I wish maybe your cameras would maybe come by and have a look at the toll on the patient. It's not that easy. I mean, we are supposed to do 3 or 2 sessions a week. So if it is 491 and you are doing even 2 sessions a week, it's about 900 and something. That is just for the dialysis. Your injection has not come. Your medication has not come. Putting all together, you are looking at about 1,500 a week. And it's not something that is sustainable. I said today, my people are just calling me. So what are we going to do? What are we going to do? The only thing we can do to appeal to the government, that we beg him, they should put this thing on the national health insurance for us, and they should increase the premium.
Okay.
They should increase the premium, maybe to 50 or 100 cedis, so that.
But have you also, since you said, if you cannot mute for me, I'll be happy. I mean, since you said the payment from these, organizations and benevolent individuals are paid directly into the Kolebu account. I mean, isn't it possible to find out from, for example, Kolebu, what it could do with those monies to support people who cannot pay?
No, you see, normally, because
Okay, we're having challenge with Mr. Henkrade, but it's such sad to hear that people are not able to pay, and so they cannot have access to dialysis treatment. But we'll bring you our dialysis series again, our dialysis crisis series, so that we can bring you the stories of these people. But Mr. Henkrade is back on again. Mr. Henkrade, so I want to find out from you, once you said the payment from Zoom Lion, for example, and that of Bodinya Miche and other organizations go directly into the account of the bank. I'm trying to find out from you what you've done to contact them to see what they could do to support the people who are not able to pay. What have they been telling you?
We've not done much yet, but you see, normally when the presentation is done, they say in support of the renal patient. So I don't think we need to come and do anything again. I mean, once they've said so, there are people doing the donation. Well, I don't know, maybe if they said something contrary to what I heard. I don't know. But if maybe that is what we heard, that is in support of renal patient, we don't need to come to them, maybe begging them or telling them that they just maybe defray some of the costs. Maybe when you are coming.
But have you tried asking them, I mean, if they could support these patients?
No, not really. Not really. We are now trying to do that. We had a meeting about 3 weeks ago with some of the management of renal management, and they made us understood that normally some of this thing, sometimes emergencies come in, and those emergencies, the people are dying need of dialysis, and maybe the patient has not, patient relative have not got money. So sometimes they made us understood they fall on some of these monies to get them the lines to fix it before they can be put on the machines. Because sometimes some people may even come in and all that they need is to get the dialysis done. And if you don't have the access, you cannot go on the machine. So sometimes some of this money, we're being told that they use it to what? Put the line and then the neckline, the access, let me say the access for them to have on the machine. Okay. But I think still something can be done on we already have the access so that we can also get some of this donations that are coming in.
Mr. Inkra, I'm grateful to you, but we'll remember you in our prayers as well, because this is quite a trying moment for you. Grateful for joining us here. This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more, please. Do stay. Welcome back from the break. Let's do more stories now. And the lawyers for Fix the Country convener are challenging the jurisdiction of the High Court in a treason felony trial that is yet to commence 2 years after the arrest of Mr. Akufo-Addo. The court was expected to make a determination on constitutionality of the offense today, following a motion filed by lawyers for the activist, inviting the judge to refer the issue to the Supreme Court. The long-awaited trial, however, did not take place because, according to the court, the sitting judge has been commissioned to undergo a training program. My colleague Latif Idris Ubamba was in court.
I know, and I appreciate everything you are doing too, okay?
In anticipation of Monday's proceedings, Mr. Vomowo had on Sunday posted on his X account a rallying call for members of the Fix the Country movement to show up at the courthouse in solidarity. He was picked up on Friday, February 11, 2022, by national security operatives at the Kotoka International Airport upon his arrival in Ghana from the United Kingdom. Police investigators claimed that his post on social media about what was at the time a controversial electronic transaction levy bill contained a, quote, clear statement of intent to subvert the Constitution of Ghana if Parliament went ahead to pass the bill. A bill which was eventually passed into law. On his part, Mr. Vomowo openly stated that contrary to claims put forward by the state, he was rather arrested and detained after refusing monetary offer by government intended to get him to stop leading the Fix the Country movement in organizing protest against the regime. Etama High Court in April 2022 granted Mr. Vomowo bail pending the outcome of his trial. Considering the gravity of the crime he was charged with, treason, many, including Mr. Vomowo himself, expected an expedited trial. But 2 years on, apart from the social media post, the state is yet to produce any evidence to support the arrest and detention of the activist. On the day the long-awaited trial was expected to begin, the court did not sit. It, however, explained that the sitting judge, Justice Mary Mami Ekwia Yanzu, has been commissioned to go through a training program. Lawyers for Mr. Vomowo are challenging the constitutionality of the offense and are also inviting the judge to refer the issue to the Supreme Court. The case has been adjourned to May 20th.
Now, the Ghana Journalists Association and other leading members of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, GIBA, have all felt the pinch of the erratic power supplies as Dumso caused the recent GJ event to be suspended for 2 hours. This has forced the two organizations to revive calls for a load management timetable to be released as the ongoing erratic power supply continues to bite hard on broadcasting equipment of media houses. In our Dumso Diaries today, my colleague Carlos Caloni looks at how the situation is impacting the media fraternity.
Contrary to President Akufo-Addo's assurance that the era of Dumso power outages is over, many parts of Ghana continue to grapple with erratic power supply. The latest victim of this unpredictable power situation was the Ghana International Press Center in Accra. On Thursday, May 9, 2024, the Ghana Journalists Association GJ's press conference, scheduled for 1:30 p.m., was delayed by 2 hours due to a sudden power outage at the press center. The event meant to address critical issues affecting the media fraternity and to provide an update on Farouk Mahama and Hawa Kumson's media blackout, initiated by GJA after supposed assault on some journalists, left journalists and media personnel frustrated and stranded for hours. Speaking at the press conference, GJA President Albert Jumfo urged the government to double its efforts in finding a lasting solution to the power crisis as it threatens the job security of journalists.
Another trend that gives cause for concern is the ongoing energy crisis, which is having a toll on the finances and operations of the media, particularly the broadcast media. The government should double its effort to restore stability in power supply to avert the closure of broadcast stations and consequent loss of jobs. We know it is affecting us in so many ways, affecting productivity, even having a toll on the economic condition of journalists. In recent time, when we look at the recent report from the Reporters Without Borders, the indice or the indicator, which was recently included about 3-4 years ago, being the economic indicator, has really affected Ghana negatively, and that has pushed Ghana to the bottom of the radar. We keep sinking on the ranking due to this economic indicator.
On his part, President of the Ghana Independent Broadcasting Association, GIBA, Cecil Sonkwamil, said the unplanned power cuts are damaging broadcasting equipment and causing loss of revenue, hence the need for a power shedding timetable.
I know we were late, and we're late because of some key issue which is affecting broadcasters too. Okay, besides the message we have, and that is the unplanned power cuts. That is how I want to call it. We've had a number of media organizations, we have received complaints. We've had disruption of broadcasting services, inability to meet deadlines, damage to equipment, and loss of revenue to some of the stations. And we know that they have quite difficult times. So we want to also use this platform to appeal that at least if there are challenges, give us a plan so we can plan, and then we can make revenue. We know how much fuel we need to buy, and we can even reschedule programs and protect our equipment.
Even though journalists would not speak on record, they lamented the dire impact the erratic power supply is having on their productivity and also added their voices to the calls, saying the government should stop playing politics with the power situation as it threatens their job security. From Accra International Press Center, Carlos Caloni for Joy News.
This is still the Joy News Prime. We'll take a quick break. We'll bring you showbiz right after.
I, Stephen Morris,
swear solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Ghana, and I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So help me God. Congratulations, sir.
Musician, songwriter, and record producer Steve Hardware Morris, known professionally as Stevie Wonder, has taken up Ghanaian citizenship today at a ceremony at the Jubilee House. Wonder is one of the best-selling music artists of all time, with sales of over 100 million records worldwide. He has won 25 Grammy Awards, the most by a male solo artist. In an interview with Oprah Winfrey, Stevie Wonder indicated his desire to relocate to his entire family to Ghana. Some few hours ago, Ghanaian citizenship was conferred on him by President Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House.
From his timeless classics that have become anthems of hope and inspiration, to his tireless advocacy for the rights of persons with disabilities, Stevie Wonder has touched the lives of countless individuals and left an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. By conferring Ghanaian citizenship on him, we not only recognize his immense talent and achievements, but also acknowledge his deep connection to the African continent and his tireless efforts to promote unity, solidarity, and cultural exchanges among all peoples of African descent. His decision to become a citizen of Ghana is a testament to his profound respect and admiration for our nation's history, culture, and values. As we welcome Stevie Wonder into the Ghanaian family, let us draw inspiration from his legacy and strive to build a future where creativity flourishes, diversity is celebrated, and the bonds of brotherhood and sisterhood transcend all differences. His welcome represents a vivid manifestation of the goals of the Year of Return, which we commemorated in 2019, as a bridge between the African peoples on both sides of the Atlantic.
And later, Stevie Wonder wants people of African descent to come together and fight for a common cause.
The truth is, I'm committed to, as now a Ghanaian citizen, being a part of fulfilling the dream that we've had for so many years of bringing people of Africa, those of the diaspora, United States, Caribbean, all the people together. Because as I said, and I've said for many years, the only way the world will come together is that we unite as the united people of the world. So living in America, I started, but I'm not done. I'm here to do this, to bring us together, all people of all nations, because I know that we are the original people of the planet.
Stevie Wonder, right there. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, it's good news.
Yeah,
good
Ghana.
News
Ghana is the best place to be. And where will he be staying, though? That's what I've been wondering. A Trasaco
well, we don't know.
Kaswa, somewhere.
Maybe Ebri.
Or
those people, they love the mountains.
Yeah, you want us to give, I have the lands, Nanado is my father.
But it's good for Ghana, you know, that we attract people like it. I mean, Rita Mali has been in this country for
a very
ages.
long time. It's a peaceful country.
Yeah,
and
so
everybody out there, please come back home. Those of you planning to go back. I don't know. Let's talk about Mother's Day. I don't know how you celebrated Mother's Day yesterday, but the Livingston Foundation, led by Stoneboy, celebrated some mothers and widows in Kaswa. And my colleague, Nicholas Ekoyamwa, came through with this report.
Gesture. The Livingstone Foundation celebrated Mother's Day with mothers and widows in Kaswa. The foundation, known for its philanthropic work, organized a special event to honor these unsung heroines of our society. The event saw the distribution of essential items, including food items, clothing, and household essentials to some mothers and widows in the Kaswa community. Here is founder of the foundation and musician, Stoneboy.
Anytime Mother's Day comes, I think about the widows. I think about mothers who would remember that day for the fact that they don't have their partners with them. You know, you can't become a mother without a man or a father. So I think that it will hit them harder, you know, when moments like this come and others are celebrating with their partners and all of that and that. So I decided that, okay, every Mother's Day we'll go to a community, and the least we can do, show love to a few widows. We will definitely make that happen. And I'm happy that we are able to also yet do another successful one, and it's going to continue like this, so help us God to strengthen us.
The beneficiaries expressed their gratitude to the foundation for the kind gesture.
In fact, my idea the kind of use and me sure mu papa me amiti amikune na so the mama me aji pa na de me kase iradi shena nem baby onya wo bia iradi shena nem
ya best boy no crowd for nya me shira ho iradi ni wo mo ebisa de no no mo hwehwe bi o sankan wo Yesu bi mo eduma nkoso wa
nya me shira ho nti mamre kan de nyankopon na obo ne ba asase du on man na dwuma oriya na nwomoto no onye daw onfa esichire another ngum ama bi na bi no oto nwum ne yereta na yenya ahokeka bi
bebi a omunye sika ne fi nyankopon san hye ho ma ama fi bia omo atimi aye bibia ye mothers no ye ni beji.
The Livingstone Foundation told Joy News it had more projects coming up to support vulnerable groups in society. Nicholas Ekoyamwe's report for Joy News.
Ekelebe, you know I'm my day for me, I know be your neighbor. Check your body and stay far. Something. That's Stoneboy and his wife Louisa, you know, doing that for Mother Ghana. I'm sure a lot of people, you know, have done the same. We will talk about that when we know about it.
We celebrate all mothers,
Yeah.
even though it's a day after, but still mothers are special. So the whole week should be theirs.
Yeah, there are Hunter people were trending the whole of this.
Yeah, because Kenyatta decided to sing a Mother's Day song in a Hunter.
Right.
You know, the Antiama song, if you listen to
so there's an Hunter part.
Yeah, there's an Hunter part where Kenyatta advises or talks about his mother telling him that when she dies,
right,
she can leave him, Kenyatta, a lot of money. The money will be given to her successor, but the successor will rather spend the money on herself and not Kenyatta.
Right.
So she should, you know. So that's.
So you're proud. You're proud of Hunter.
I'm a proud Hunter, and I prayed in a Hunter as well because my Hunter brother sang that.
Yeah, you have to bring that out.
I had to bless him in a Hunter language.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Can you pray for us so that we can end? Or should I do the prayers? Before that, please log on to myjoyonline.com. That's where you find all the news. If you want to brush your teeth, it's always Pepsodent. We don't have time to pray. Do we?
Yes, na de bla hobo na meza ye call ye holy and ye gari ikra baba na se de bla kobo a ye se nyamre na se fm wa o ga Jesus Christ do man ye bizaza ye say yelke means
amen.
That's all.
Good evening and welcome to Prime Business. I am Emma Davis. To our stories for tonight, government says it is implementing measures on the fiscal side, including the acceleration of the disbursement of almost $1 billion from development partners between now and December to support the economy. This assurance is coming at a time the cedi is depreciating against the US dollar. Speaking at the 3i Africa Summit, Minister of Finance Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam stated that government will continue to focus on the fintech space to drive growth and development.
The success of financial innovations rests on a strong financial services sector that operates in stable macroeconomic environment. To this end, the government of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is unrelenting in creating an enabling macroeconomic environment that will provide the platform for the success of the financial services sector. For this reason, Ghana's economic rebound has been quite swift, with economic growth ending the year 2023 at 2.9% against a target of 1.5%. Inflation heading towards the year-end target of 15%, and which we are determined to work to reach a single-digit inflation by 2027, and interest rates declining as well. Despite recent pressures on our currency, the cedi's depreciation year-to-date of 12% is far lower than its depreciation of 27% in the same period last year. The government is also implementing measures on the fiscal side, including acceleration of disbursements of almost $1 billion by our development partners between now and December this year to support the economy. As we convene at the 3i Africa Summit here in Ghana, it is incumbent on us to acknowledge the remarkable strides that Ghana has made in nurturing a vibrant fintech ecosystem. Ghana's fintech sector boasts of a diverse array of startups, accelerators, and regulatory initiatives, solidifying our position as a frontrunner in fintech innovation across the continent.
Ghana has secured a $200 million facility from the ECOWAS Bank for investment and development to support small and medium-sized enterprises in the country. President Akufo-Addo disclosed this at the 3i Africa Summit. He also highlighted his government's commitment to creating an enabling environment to aid innovation in the financial sector.
Prioritizing digital investment in digital infrastructure, channeling resources into the communities that have been left behind by the march of progress, and bridging the digital divide that threatens to leave too many Africans on the sidelines of the global economy are exceptionally important and crucial. And we must deepen our partnerships across governments, financial institutions, tech firms, and development agencies, working together in a spirit of shared purpose and unwavering commitment to develop the innovative solutions and strategic initiatives that will propel us towards a more prosperous and equitable future. And to this end, in furtherance of our objective of providing financial access to SMEs, the Minister for Finance and President of the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID, signed last Friday in Lomé, in Togo, a memorandum of understanding for $200 million facility to be dispersed through the Ghana Commercial Bank and the Ghana Exim Bank to SMEs. The role of fintechs in ensuring that these resources reach SMEs and to monitor their growth cannot be overestimated.
Ghana's favorite antiseptic liquid brand, Camel, has rewarded the winner of the Camel Hunt promotion with a grand prize of 100,000 cedis. Speaking to Joy Business, Dorothy Opari, Category Brand Manager for Personal Care at PZ Cousins Ghana Limited, explained that the brand will continue to ensure customer satisfaction by providing customers and retailers with quality, affordable products. There's more in this report.
The Camel Treasure Hunt promo, an exciting 13-week campaign, rewarded patrons with prizes worth over 300,000 Ghana cedis. The promo recognized both consumers and distributors of Ghana's favorite antiseptic liquid brand, Camel. Hundreds of Ghanaians across the country were rewarded with various prizes, including shopping vouchers, weekly cash prizes, airtime, and more. Dorothy Opari, Category Brand Manager for Personal Care, explains the exciting Camel Treasure Hunt journey.
We wanted customers to buy the Camel antiseptic liquid. It had a beautiful sticker on the face of the product. And once you scratch, it reveals a number. You text that number to 1393, and then you receive a letter as well as instant airtime. Now, the letter is the most important part of the whole promo because every time you text, you get a letter, and you are supposed to get all the letters spelling Camel. So C-A-M-E-L. So every time you texted, you get one of these letters. And the customer was able to track over the 13 weeks, ensuring that they are getting all the letters and getting close to the finale. So our grand prize winner, who we saw today, actually received all the letters C-A-M-E-L. And so that's how come he emerged the winner.
Ghana's leading liquid antiseptic brand promises to offer retailers and consumers quality hygienic products.
Camel product is our treasure as Ghanaians, and we've been here for over 4 decades. We've had interesting promos. We had the buy and fly to Dubai for years, but we realized that our consumers are going through a hard time. The country in itself was going through a hard time, even us as a business. And so we wanted to reward our consumers for sticking with us, for staying with us. Consumers should expect more from Camel. As they know, we are the #1 leading brand in skincare and germ protection for the whole family. Our brand say yes to life, and that is exactly what we're doing with our upcoming products relaunches, and also to look forward to a promo like this in a few months to come as well. And so we continue to churn out quality hygiene products, and we hope that they stay with us and stick with us along the journey.
Abraham Corbin Assam from Cape Coast was overwhelmed after winning the grand prize of 100,000 Ghana cedis.
Well, my kids encouraged me to take part in the promo because we normally purchase these products in the house, and they encourage that there is a scratch pin somewhere, so I can just scratch it and take part in the promo. And basically, their schools also request for the Camel product anytime school reopens. It's more of a surprise, sort of. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting this. Basically, that is the whole thing. It's like a big surprise. I need to pinch myself again to see whether it's really real.
The Camel Treasure Hunt promo also rewarded 26 lucky individuals with 1,000 Ghana cedis each, while 4 lucky people received shopping vouchers worth 5,000 Ghana cedis over the 13-week period.
That's all for tonight on Prime Business. Usually on Mondays, we do bring you the Entrepreneur in You series, but today we apologize for not being able to bring you that episode today, but do make a date on Thursday and we'll bring you the full episode of Entrepreneur in You series. I am Emma Davis. Have a good evening.
Hi there, welcome to Prime Sports with me, Razak Musbao. Now, tonight, Ghana Black Starlets are on a mission to qualify for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup for the first time since 2017 as they prepare towards the WAFU Zone B Under-17 tournament. The tournament, which serves as qualification to the Under-17 AFCON, where teams will battle for their FIFA Under-17 places. Now, that tournament will be hosted in Ghana starting May 15 come Wednesday. Eli Kinson is head coach of the team, and he has been speaking, and he says he's full of confidence in the players he selected for the tournament and insists that he chose every single one of them despite the pressure that came with favoring others.
So we open up to everybody that every
Ghanaian player is eligible to play, so far as you have the quality that you can represent the country. So at the moment, we have 20 players in camp that are going to represent the country on the 15th, but we still have about 10 extra players at the back. 10 extra players at the back that we believe that after, God willing, after everything goes on well and we qualify to represent Ghana in the African Youth Championship, some of them will have that opportunity. And the opportunity is still open until the last minute of the final squad that will represent Ghana in the World Cup or even the African Youth Championship. Every single player there is me. It's me who chose my squad. You know, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. From day one, I've been fighting, putting my feet down that, fine, if you recommend a player, I would like to see the player first. And if I feel the player can help the work that we are doing, why not? It's a Ghanaian. So I've fought for this, and trust me, every single player that you see in the squad now, it's my decision. It's my decision. I chose every player there. It wasn't easy though. It wasn't easy at all. I have to be honest. Raise my hand and say I have to be not honest. But myself and the technical team, we've made it clear to everybody that every player that will play for the national team have to be on merit. Like I said, we have a very good player in a village somewhere that doesn't have anyone, that doesn't have anybody, because he doesn't have someone to lead him to play for the national team. His career and his ambition will finish there. No, for me, no. So I myself put my feet down and picked every single player in the current squad that we have.
I like you said there. Now, Ghana have been drawn in Group A and will take on neighbours Cote d'Ivoire in the opening game on Wednesday before matching up against Benin days later. The tournament will take place at the University of Ghana Stadium. Now, to the MTN FA Cup, because in Sanchaman and Ofori-Atta, they've sealed a place in the final of the MTN FA Cup, which semi-final action, which took place over the weekend. Now, Ofori-Atta to Sanchaman started off the semi-final action on Saturday, defeating Legon Cities by 2-1. Then on Sunday, Ofori-Atta defeated the reigning champions, Dreams FC, by 2-1. Now, following that victory, head coach for Ofori-Atta, John Ediafo, says his side is poised to win the final and represent Ghana in the CAF Confederations Cup.
It's all joy. I'm so excited and so happy. From my initial submission, I said this is going to be the 4th time I'm playing against Dreams. I think the first time I played them was when I was with Kotoku Royals. We beat them 3-0 at Dewu. The second time was when we played them in their half over there. That was just last 2 months with Bofo. We lost 3-1. Playing them again last week, I promised that it is either we share the points or one becomes a winner. And today, I came all determined to beat my father, because it is time we also need to come up. Every coach's dream is to play and get to the final, win the final, of course, and get to the Africa. So it's every coach's dream, and it's also my dream as well, to play in the final, win the final, go to the Africa. So from now, we are going to prepare and probably meet them in the final, as well as the 5 league matches left.
That's how we'll go for you in Prime Sports tonight with me, Razak Musbah. Please do have a wonderful evening.